everyone, this is Nyoken. Again, I am here with another cast brought to you by StarCastTV. This time, we're in the final round of the round of 8. We're finally here. We're almost set with our round of 4. It's going to be light versus mini. This should be a really good one because we've got contrasting styles here. Everybody knows light. Everybody knows he's more of like a control type player. Generally, when he's playing like Terran versus Zerg, he's playing like a 3 racks or 4 racks. Terran versus Protoss, he's definitely more management, getting his upgrades, low factory counts, expands, and then builds up to a massive army. Tons of bases, tons of factories at that point. But he's going up against Mini, who is someone that really likes to be in your face all the time, test your multitask, and then run you over. So this should be a really good matchup. We're going to be looking at our bracket in just a minute, and we can see that we do have in the round of 4 already. It's going to be Rush versus Beast, and then waiting for the winner of this matchup will be Snow, who I think has a really good shot of potentially finally getting a victory under his belt in a tournament. But his opponent is going to be really hard regardless of who comes out of this, light or mini. Light, amazing Terran versus Protoss. Mini, just a madman in all the matchups. So with all that said, let's get a look at our maps and what maps we're going to be playing on today. Polypoid, Jungle Story, Champion, Retro, and Luna. Not really a shocker to me to see Sandstorm banned. I don't think I would ever want to play a 2-player map versus Mini, even though Champion's in the map pool. You know, you can't ban out all the 2-player maps. So out of those two, I think I would prefer Champion. And then Vermeer, a lot of bases, a lot of gas on that map. Maybe Mini doesn't want to face off versus a Terran that has access to so many bases, and that's why he banned out Vermeer and left in Luna. We'll see. So let's get into our first game. We're ready to get into it, and it's going to be light versus mini on Polypoid. So in the top right, our orange Terran, it is light, and we have in the bottom left, crazy Protoss, it is mini. And so lately when I've been seeing Mini play, he's still got the same style. He's still playing that mass robo style. He's still innovated the meta, and people are still continuing to use it. In fact, just the other day, I was playing a ladder, and this guy had 3 robos. He was shuttle man like crazy. I was like, dude, didn't I just kill like 4 shuttles, and here you are with 3 more? So I expect to see that style again, and I've seen some great games between these 2 players on this map in particular. Mini, even though the Reaver is a unit that you use in the mid game, generally, I've seen him pull it out in like 20-minute games, 30-minute games versus Light, just really just abusing the power of the Reaver, using the high ground to his advantage on multiple locations on Polypoid. So that'll be something that Light needs to keep in mind as he pushes, that hey, there could be some strong bowling balls being thrown at his army. And we do have a forward gate from Mini, so as expected, right from the get-go, he wants to get in this guy's face. And a little bit lucky for Light here that he spawned top right, so it'll be cross-spawn. But a little unlucky now, because this is setting up to be gasless expand. Putting that barracks on the low ground. Gonna probably put the depot right next to it to connect to the command center. But this is a somewhat quick scout, so this build opener from Light may already be disrupted in the next few seconds, because I imagine the probe will get over here and potentially gas steal once he sees what's going on. And Light, okay, gonna go vertically, I think, yep, vertical scout, so not gonna find Mini that quickly. He'll have to micro his butt off versus this incoming Zealot. Something to point out though is Mini's main, no gas, so this is gonna be multiple Zealots being rallied. Okay, there, of course, as I say no gas, there it is. I thought it might be a Nexus follow-up, but there's the delayed gas. This looks like it's probably going to be maybe 3 Zealot pressure, 2 Zealot pressure, something along those lines. I am a little surprised. Where's the Zealot? Shouldn't it be out by now? Okay, there he goes. Now he's out, and there comes that pesky probe. And will he get gas stolen? Oh, he canceled an SCV. Okay, we'll get gas stolen. He canceled the SCV to get the faster depot. And there's the connecting depot that I was talking about. This is going to be Zealot tight there, so the Zealot's going to have to run through the mineral line to get up into the base, which does make it a little bit harder to get damage done. And in fact, I don't expect this to do any damage at all. Well, there's an interesting follow-up. You can see Light ended up taking his gas at his natural. And okay, we've got a forward pylon. Now, the Marines were leaving that position, and he may have gotten a glimpse that the pylon's going down. Now, this is mini. Just because you see a pylon doesn't mean there's going to be anything there. This could be a fake. There's the bunker. Zealot? Oh, I think this is Robo, man. I think he's built enough Zealots that he can defend. And this is probably going to be Robo. Okay, but he's taking a lot of damage on the Zealots. He picks off one SCV. The mining is really bad for Light. Like, he's not mining his gas effectively, so his factory's mega delayed. But you got to keep these Zealots alive. If there's an SCV plus Marine pull, this Robo could get taken down. I like the battery. I think you got to have the battery here. And Light does now confirm that, hey, there's actually buildings being placed here. Instant kill on that SCV, gets popped. But 5 Marines, a couple of SCVs. However, they're attacking in the high ground. Oh, first Zealot falls. And there's no additional Zealot to help save this. And this is going to be denied. So really good defense here from Light. This build order, I did like it from Mini, but he needed to save those Zealots. And now his strategy is completely down the drain. The gas steal is going to not really do anything either, because his factory, even though it's slow, it doesn't have to deal with a fast Reaver anymore. So everything's just good and dandy for Light here. He is a little bit down in workers because of the SCVs being killed by those Zealots, but other than that, he's going to catch up because of this big supply block. And now, what do you do as Light? He's got a lot of options. He probably doesn't realize it, but could go something like Starport and it be successful. Instead, he's going to go for a second factory. I think this is typical Light. He did big damage denying that Robo. Knows that it's going to be late, and maybe thinking like, hey, he made a heavy investment on that. Maybe I can counter with like a tank push, or, you know, even just vultures with speed and mines. Meanwhile, in Mini's main, Robo's basically done at this point. Pops that SCV, that's a nice pick off. Now, if I was Mini here, I think your only move has got to be Reaver. I think that you gas stole this guy. He can't really pressure you that easily. No reason to go for Observer. I don't think it's likely that he'll get pushed. And because of that, you gotta go Reaver, man. If you do get pushed, you of course are gonna have the Reaver to just, you know, deal tons of damage, but also gives you potential to get damage done. So, there is the support bay. Shuttle was halfway done or so, and we will have the Reaver follow-up. Now this is double add-on. There's gonna be a lot of tanks for Light, and I've seen him do moves like this a few times where when he suspects that Reaver is coming, he'll just counter you with like 3 to 5 tanks, and he'll get into like a base trade scenario. But generally, even though one Reaver is strong, doesn't really deal the amount of damage that a push can do. So that may be what he's thinking here, that he knows that the Reaver's going to be slow again. Maybe he can hit a timing. Remember, he's also got a lot of Marines saved because of his continuous build of them and his good micro versus the Zealots. Now, this is something that I was not expecting. This was a really freaking fast quarter back. Okay, Light, I see you, man. He's going to put on a ton of pressure here. Already got 2 tanks. 4 fact is kind of middle of the road, but at this point, when you're building him at 630 in the game, this is going to hit really friggin' quick. Now there's the, I thought that was the shuttle moving out, but I think it is not out on the map just yet. Maybe just now going towards the natural, it looks like, loading up something there. And we do have the 3 tank move out with some Marines, but he still has no idea that there's 4 fact behind this. So there's going to be a lot of vultures. Now, in Light's main, I don't remember seeing an eBay, so this could come back to bite him, because the Reaver will be able to rack up a lot of kills. But here comes that 5 tank push that I was talking about. I'm not sure if he has siege mode just yet, but you can see that the defense for Protoss is really skimpy. And look at this, SCV spots where all the Dragoons are, avoids the Reaver, and now we're gonna have that counter like I was talking about. All Light has to do, in my opinion, is lay some mines in his natural or main to make sure one can continue to mine. And this is gonna be a really tough push to stop. Here he is, he's reached the doorstep. 5 tanks versus, what is it, 4 goons, 1 Reaver? I don't even know if Snow could save the day with a Reaver. There goes the Reaver, it unloads. Okay, that was a good hit. Hits 2 of the tanks. Mines being set up. Oh, those 3 tanks are so low, but managed to survive. They're gonna have to micro though. Reaver did a lot of damage actually, despite not having a lot of support. He hasn't really killed much, but he has softened up those tanks quite a bit. No siege just yet for Light. I guess he rushed mines and speed instead. And now that means that the Reaver can actually kill these tanks. One more shot and they will die. Force off a probe pull. He's now microing towards the 3rd base. He's shut down the 3rd base. Okay, there's the siege. I hear it. He shut down the 3rd base, and now he's setting up that siege mode. 3rd base has denied mining. There's no turrets here, so he's got to be very careful with how he places these tanks. Don't want to splash each other. Don't want to loot them to the Reaver, of course. Good micro, knocking down some vultures, limiting the vision. But I don't think there's anything else. Oh, there is a goon loading up. There goes 1 tank. 2nd tank dies. Okay. There's only 1 turret or 1 SCV here, so if he can pop that turret in the SCV, that'd be fantastic. These 2 vultures have already taken down almost 1,000 points of damage on that Nexus, so that Nexus may actually die. Reaver does not kill that tank. Oh, he lost Reaver! And I think with the Reaver falling... Oh, never mind, there's a backup Reaver. Did Mini forget about it? Seems like he's forgotten that Reaver's there. Maybe he has another one loaded up. That Reaver is dangerously low, so maybe he doesn't want to go for it. Oh, he's going to lose the shuttle and the Reaver. And he doesn't kill any tanks. And this is most likely it. I can't see him busting out of this now. The contain is too strong. There's not a lot of supporting cast for the Reaver. And supplies are... Okay, there it goes. The 2nd Reaver falls. And this rallied Forfact hit a really nice timing. We never actually got to see the Reaver harass the minerals of Light. And he's just able to rally across the map unhindered. And this push is now just way too strong to deal with. He's got 50 SCVs. He's not even all in with this. He could transition into command center if he wants. And 2 zealots with outspeed, 4 goons or 5 goons versus what seems to be 5 to 6 tanks. I don't think these 3 tanks are all that's there. And there it is. GG. Well done from Light. And he holds the aggressive play from Mini and hits back with a really solid Forfact. So well done from Light. He's going to go up 1-0 already in the series. I still do like the strategy planned out for Mini, but losing that first Zealot really lost a lot of the power in his push, or in his like Zealot contain, if you know what I mean. If he had kept that alive or actually was able to use the battery better, I think it could have worked out. I don't remember him actually using the battery at all, so that's a bit of a misstep. But you know what happens sometimes? You play these volatile builds, they can look silly, but I'm sure if he pulls out another crazy strategy, he'll have more success. So let's get into game 2 now. Next map is going to be... was it Retro, maybe? Can't remember exactly. Oh, Jungle Story. Jungle Story, the next map. So, again, with the cross spawn, and again in the top right, we do have Light, and in the bottom left, again we do have Mini. In this map, we've seen a couple of good games. We were Stock versus Snow on here. Stock had a really good, really strong casting build. I'm sure Light all those games, and we may see that on this map again. It is high ground natural, which is strong for both players. Mini may be thinking he can use the natural high ground to his advantage, maybe get away with 12 Nexus. I don't think Light can feel confident enough to go for that because forward gating is common on maps like this. You know, maps like Tempest are in the latter pool right now. And in my experience, it's kind of like a 50-50. You're either facing 12 Nexus or forward gate. So 14 CC a little bit too risky, in my opinion. There is the forward pylon. Don't think this necessarily means that it has to be a forward gate. It could still be that 12 Nexus, but there goes that probe. And it will be another forward gate. Wants to put more pressure onto light. Now, will he build the racks on the high ground is the question to me. I think I like it in the main better. And there it is. It's in the main. It's more of a safer opener. Now remember last game, Mini cut his gas for quite a while. Ended up going into 3 Zealots before going into the Dragoon. I think on a map like this, instantly going into Goon, way better. If you can get a contain on top of the ramp with range, not let Terran up, you're in a fantastic position. But as I say that, no gas again. At least not just yet. This time around, I think it could be Zealot into Nexus at this point. And unlike last game, Light has actually opted into gas this time. I didn't actually see if this was a 12 gas or an 11 gas. It does look like it was a normal 12 gas. And once again, he's going to find Mini most likely in the second spot. And Mini's going to come in here and see that Light did not go gasless, and it is just a normal gas timing. And in fact, this was an 11 gas. This factory is way too quick for it to be a 12 gas. And there's the Cybernetics, but it's a delayed Cybernetics. Again, going to be multiple Zealots. First Marine out. Zealot already almost halfway across the map. And this time around, I don't think Light will be able to have any type of SimCity or bunker at his natural in time. He's going to have to micro between his depot and his main. Now that Marine is going quite far. He's out in no man's land, and now what's he going to do? There's no way you're counterattacking with one Marine. He needs to try and sneakily get back to the base to help defend versus this Zealot. For now, though, not feeling confident enough to safely escort him back, so he is just hiding in the darkness. It does force out 4 Marines this time from Light. And I'm kind of surprised that it was actually only 1 Zealot, and even though it was a Cybernetics follow-up, he ends up going into a quick Nexus. Okay, can he get any SCVs here? The answer is no. Look at that combo shot with the Zealot and Probe. Takes down 2 Marines. I would say that's worth. I think that's about as best of a trade as you're going to possibly get if you're going to commit the Zealot. So well done there. Takes down 2 Marines. Forced out additional Marines also. So I think Light's up at 5 Marines. That's nice. Also delayed his command center, so that's also good. We are going to have 2 Vultures. Oh, we've got an SCV pull. So that's what's going on. I was wondering why that SCV didn't try to micro at all. And here's the reason. He's got vision of that mineral line, and we're pulling, baby. Here we go. There is, I think, 2 goons out right now. Does not have range just yet. It is very far away. This goon might actually die. This goon is very low. He sees the SCVs being pulled. He needs to consider canceling this Nexus and maybe trying to build a battery in his main, but instead he's going to try and hold it. He's got a battery going up at his Nexus. I don't know. This is a lot of SCVs. Okay, but the SimCity's good. Prevents the Vultures and the Marines from getting in. SCVs now kind of by themselves having to deal with probes and goons. This may have backfired. There's the battery. Goon gets caught by the SCVs, but actually manages to get away. Range, even though it's far away, I think will complete. Maybe not right now, but complete in the sense that as long as he keeps his goons alive, he can't hold. Probes. Getting a lot of damage done on these SCVs. Maybe I'm wrong. He's going to be mining now. Oh, that goon falls. That goon is pretty low. Still getting hit by the Vultures, man. And this is so many Marines, so many Vultures, and I actually don't think he can hold it anymore. The goons are kind of cornered in the back. Oh, it looks like range kicked in. So maybe he can do it. Either way, he's done a lot of damage. this kind of evened up the state of the game. Like, Terran's ahead in workers now, even though they're behind a command center. They're up in workers, so he can transition into command center. He's obviously got tech advantage with the factory and the, I think, mine upgrade. Oh, maybe he doesn't have tech advantage. I didn't realize. Hobo already done. Reaver gonna be coming pretty soon, and he's giving it up. I guess he doesn't feel confident enough to be able to save this Nexus. Doesn't want to risk losing his goons at the same time, so he's gonna give it up. And that means that we're going to have a Nexus loss for Mini, and that's really bad for him. Not only is he supply blocked right now, he's going to be supply blocked again, which means that the Reaver isn't going to be able to come out for a long time. And there's a tank coming. Tank with delayed Reaver may actually be able to end the game. Mine's being set up. I see Mini actually shuttled over a probe to mid-left, so he's got a probe over there. Gonna take a base probably within the next few seconds or so, but there's that first tank, and yeah, there's still a lot of stuff in this bunker, man. He's gonna push in here, and this supply block may be doomsday for Mini. Not sure how far along that Reaver is, but it can only be like halfway done. Really good control with the goons though. Was this an overstep? Trades basically all the Marines for a couple of probes and a goon. Okay, getting the goon at the end, that's nice. Forcing all those probes to be not mining, also nice. There's the Reaver load up, and now we've got to run. But instead, Light just wants to keep the pressure going. Maybe he can pop another goon? He keeps the Reaver back also, which is great, which means he can skip out on eBay for that much longer. Doesn't have to rush turrets. No more mines though, so he can't really reliably... Oh, I was gonna say reliably assume that the Reaver might hit the mine, but he just got hit. He snipes the goon. Oh my gosh. So this did not go well for Mini at all. He is really down in the dumps. At least he does have the hidden base at mid-left, but he's down 5 workers. Terran's command center is done. Skipped eBay, has a starport done, has a Wraith coming on also. This is not looking good, and Mini wants to double expand, but without any observer, he can't clear out the mine, so this Nexus isn't going to be able to put down for a while. Here, another load up. This has got to be for a goon, I imagine. Try and clear these out. He did clear them out, so Nexus is going to come down. And as long as Mini doesn't take damage to this Wraith or potentially incoming drop, maybe he can get away with a move like this. Terran, of course, doesn't have much production while sitting on just one factory, but see if Terran can do something. Terran's moving across the map. That seems ambitious. I mean, this is 2 tanks. 1 Wraith and 1 Vulture. There's the Wraith. Doing a lot of damage to that Wraith already. Oh, I forgot that the Reaver's already low health, and it just gets instantly killed. Where'd the shuttle go? Did he lose the shuttle? Oh, it's over at mid-left. He's trying to hide from the Wraith. Oh my gosh. Well, this looks like it could be game 2 hitting Light's way. There's just no units for Mini right now. He has no goons, he has no Reaver, he has 1 shuttle, but nothing in it. The tanks, I don't even think have siege mode. There's no mines, but it doesn't matter. They're just getting a free, 60 damage a pop on this Nexus. This Nexus is going to have to be canceled in a second. Finally, something's loaded up, but that Nexus is probably already burning. He doesn't even care about the Reaver. He's just saying, get me in. That Reaver's... thought it might actually die, but actually does push back this army. How close is that Nexus to being killed? I mean, it's got to be close. Guess we're not going to find out, but I feel like that could be a base that gets sniped really easily, whether it's a tank drop or something like a 4 Vulture drop. 3 factory as the follow-up, so a decent amount of pushing power. Mini has recovered his worker count though. If we look at the workers, 37 to 35. He was down like 6 a moment ago, so he's done a good job to catch up. We've got the Forge at mid-left. I think you gotta have the Forge, not just for the cannons to defend mid-left, but also to try and match the upgrades of tearing, so that's nice. We do have 4 gates now. I think we have double Reaver out now. Look at how late that eBay is. Just because he was able to keep the Reaver back for so long. He didn't have to waste any money on turrets at all. And now we do have the drop going to mid left. The Forge, even though there's a Forge at mid left, I don't remember seeing a cannon. It is not done yet. Actually, the time is going to be great. It's going to complete in the nick of time. And this Vulture drop, I imagine, shouldn't do much damage. Yeah, it doesn't even unload. I think that's a smart move. And we actually do have Mini with Worker Lead at this point. Remember, he's got 3 Nexus now, so he can actually recover his econ. This dropship is now stuck. So, a tank, 2 Vultures, not able to do anything. Dropship, not able to do anything. So that's a really good catch right there. And we've actually got Mini almost even in supply now. Terran doesn't have a really strong army to attack with. 2 Wraith, few Vultures, what is it, 4 tanks? Does really seem like Mini has stabilized this game. Can he get off? No, he does not get off. A Reaver shot there. Does have to worry about those Wraiths. And those Wraiths may actually even have Cloak. I've seen Light do this a couple times where he builds like 2 or 3 Wraiths, gets Cloak, picks off the observers, and then just goes and snipes the shuttle. That's a really strong move. Him and I feel like Royal like to do this move. Oh no, the goons left the shuttle, but he doesn't get punished. The Wraith had a moment of opportunity there to take down that Reaver, but isn't able to actually get it. Oh, looks like we did have an unload at mid left. Tank on the low ground. Not gonna be able to get any damage done. Oh, I take that! Gets a goon and a Reaver, and the Vultures get into the main. No defense there, no reaction from Mini. He's going to be losing probes left and right. I think that's something like 4 probes ended up dying. Tank on the high ground, or at the mid-left base, going to take down that cannon. These have done a good job to prevent reinforcements, but really good move there from Light, dealing damage at both bases. And he does feel confident in those moves that he's going to take a 3rd base. His army is still very strong in the center of the map. Man, Light really reading the situation very well. Now this is a full health shuttle. Reavers unload. I think at this point, did Light overextend here? Like 5 tanks are strong, but shouldn't these goons and Reavers be able to beat it? But there's no observer. Maybe that's what's making Mini fearful of actually attacking. These 2 Wraiths keep killing the observers over and over. He can't just move into this, because mines will kill everything. Another scan goes off. He really wants to get that shuttle. Any damage he can get down on that shuttle is amazing. There's 40, 80 damage instantly. Another shuttle comes out. This Vulture has 5 kills, 6 kills onto the probe line. And now Light just retreats his tanks. Oh man, this is really good from Light. Gonna save 3 of those tanks. I guess he's leaving 2 there to just make it seem like he's pressuring, but he's actually not. And these goons are way out in no man's land. Why are they out in the center still? Oh, they just got eaten up, man. At least they do trade for 2 tanks. That's about as worthwhile as it could have gone for Mini. But he is down 20 workers at this point. Terran's army is pretty big. We're even in supply, so technically Protoss' army is stronger right now, but way more production for Terran. I think we're up at like 6 or 7 factories. These Wraiths haven't been killed at all, so the shuttles are not very effective. And we've got a counter at bottom right. Shuttles moving in that direction. Doesn't seem like those shuttles even have speed though, so they're not even getting across the map that quickly. Looks like we may have a standoff in the second outside of Mini's natural. The shuttles are now halfway across the map. The Wraiths did retreat back there though. We're gonna have an interception at mid-right. And even though we don't see it, I think one of the shuttles died. Yep, there's the cloak that I was talking about. See a shuttle. Only 1 Reaver gets unloaded, and there is no detection. This was perfect from Light. I don't know how he saw the shuttles going over there, but this did absolutely no damage. This Reaver is stuck. He's going to be dead in just a moment. And also, this goon is stuck. He also eliminates both of the shuttles, which are expensive. PT moves out, but gets cleared out by mines. Nothing is going well for Mini, and I think Mini sees the writing on the wall. It is get out now, or your fate is sealed. He's going to try and bust out. There's a lot of zealots. Actually managed to get out, clear out a lot of mines. Clears out a lot of tanks, too. Reaver doesn't even... Oh, it does get off one shot. Oh, now that was a good, juicy shot. Clears out a ton of ultras. Kills out all the tanks eventually. But it's still a huge army for Terran. Up 40 supply. He's taking the center of the map. He's not even sieging. It is full on a move, baby. He wants this Protoss out of my game. D-Matrix comes down. The Wraiths are actually dealing a lot of damage too, even though they don't have high ground DPS. It adds up versus shields. And there goes the GG from Mini. He is going to go down 2-0. And Light, he is crushing it today. Well, Mini's going to have to really get it together because these first two games have been ugly. Right from the get-go, Light has capitalized on the early game, and it's just been Mini trying to recover from a deficit. I think he did really well, getting 3 Nexus, but he was just never, ever able to do any damage with the Reavers. Like, he was just, until the drop at the very end, he didn't even get across really the center of the map other than those goons trying to prevent reinforcements. So, this forward gate and follow-up is just not really working out for him. I hope he comes up with a different strat going into Game 3. So let's get into Game 3. I think next map is Champion. Player map, maybe Gas Steel menu. So in the top left, 1 game away, it is Light. And so far, pressure from Mini is really not doing much. He's been on the back foot pretty much from the get-go, other than the zealot pressure. Hopefully he can come up with something else. So Champion, map that I really haven't played, but I've seen a few games been played on here. Of course, being a 2-player map does lead to a lot of gas steals, and with Mini being an aggressive player, I expect that to be the case. And there goes the probe. This, I don't think is fast enough to be for a proxy gate, so more than likely this is just going to be for the gas steal, while also having a probe in the main built the normal pylon, and there is the pylon as expected. Light, he will have to, check for proxy gates though, whether they're in his main, in the natural, something like top right or at the third base. So just something to keep in mind as Light, that he does need to be aware of moves like that. And here comes that probe. It is really quick, 120 in the base, and this could be annoying if he can deny the command center, because really you want to put the command center right there, and the reason you want to do that is between the command center and the racks you can fit Marines, but between the depot and the racks, on the left side of the racks, there's a gap like you just saw right there, and that means zealots can easily go through there and deal a lot of damage to the Marines and SCVs. But we do have a mix-up this time. Mini is actually going for 12 Nexus as a follow-up. He's gone for the gas steal into 12 Nexus. Now, Light, if he scouts this, may do an SCV pull like he did on Jungle Story, but because it's a 2-player map, like I said, he has to respect that there could be proxy gates, so he may not actually scout initially across the map. Oh, never mind, he's gonna actually go. But the probe, so annoying. This SCV is already 30 health. He should consider turning this around. This might actually die. He only needs to be hit 4 more times. Yeah, he keeps him back. And now this 12 Nexus goes unscouted. He's gonna have to send another SCV. Ooh, SCV wanted some more. Almost gets that probe, but will finally turn around. And Light's gonna see the bad news in about 15 seconds. Hey, this is another 12 Nexus. The gas? Was it canceled? I don't know, but the gas seems like it was already taken down on Light's side of the map quite quickly. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe he pulled a lot of SCVs. I didn't actually see it, but again, the probe just being a nuisance here, trying to keep that SCV back as long as possible. We may actually have a Forge follow-up. Nope, actually it's a 2-gate follow-up, so I take that back. He canceled gas. It's an SCV pull, man. He's saying, no, sir, not on my watch. Oh, no, it's not going to be an SCV pull. At least not just yet. What is it going to be? Is it going to be SCVs? Okay, it is SCVs. He had 400 minerals, so I thought maybe it's not going to be an SCV pull. But he's pulling into a 2-gate. And this is going to be hard. There's no vultures. There's only Marines. It is a delayed 2-gate. But Zealots are really strong, of course. There's also not... I don't think you can build a bunker farther back than that. I could be wrong. Yeah. Oh, I guess you can. So maybe it's not as bad as I thought. We do have SCVs trailing these Marines. So far, I think Light's in trouble. This looks like a lot of probes. Also, the Zealot is doing a good job. Okay, really good body block right there. Okay, there goes one Marine. Good control from both sides. 3 Marines. If he had 4 or 5 Marines, I think he could push. But with just 2, I don't think that this can work. And in fact, Light seems to have accepted that this is not going to work, and he's starting to try and build his gas up now. Marines not able to get into the bunker. The Zealot's holding the line, and he just taps out, yeah. At this point, when you pull SCVs, you can't transition out of it, and that means Mini will bring it back to a 2-1 score. So quick game right there. Like the build order. The probe delaying the racks, even though it didn't look like a big deal, 5 seconds or something, that's considerable. Like, when he had his attack, instead of having 3 Marines, maybe he could have had a 4th one synced up with that army and could have had a little bit more firepower to actually push through the Zealots. But it is what it is. Mini strikes back in game 3, and now we're going into game 4, and this is going to be Retro, a really strong TVP map. So Mini's going to have another special build plan because Terran's really strong here. It looks like Cruiser must have gone AFK for a second before getting into the next game, but oh, he's back now. Some issues with getting into the game, but Retro TVP, I think we saw Mini play in ASL on this map versus Sock, and like I was saying, Sock has been playing really well. On Jungle Story that we've seen in this tournament, Sock has been playing a really solid gasless style. But anyways, in that ASL, Sock actually managed to take down Mini. So this is definitely a good TVP map. It does have a lot of terrain that can, or in your main, but that can be dropped. So it will have to be something that both players need to keep in mind, because even though I expect Mini to be the one to, of course, build those shuttles, I think we could see Light go for starport again and go for drops and do some harassment. So again, in the top, we have Mr. Light. And in the bottom right, we do have Mini. This time around, we've got vertical spawns, so no cross spawn anymore. And this, I would say, does give a little bit of drop advantage to Light. He can just fly directly over the 3rd base straight into the main, whereas Mini, he's going to have to most likely come through the center of the map and then hook around to top right. We'll see if Light actually wants to go for drop play. I think his Jungle Story success went so well that he should definitely consider it, because it looked like that build that he went for with the Wraith and the drop and the cloak was pretty unstoppable. And this time around, we do have Pylon in the main for Mini. And no shenanigans, at least not just yet. Still waiting to see if Light will go for gasless like he did on Polyvoid, or if he'll try and just play a normal 11 or 12 gas game. We've got the gateway, And it is going to be a gateway scout. Now, what direction is the probe going to go? And he is going to go top right. So it's going to be another first scout for Mini. This is great for him. And light. Not an 11 gas, at least not so far. Oh, he's not going to top right? Wow, he cross-scouted. So that's a bit unlucky for Mini. Not going to be able to find light at top right, which is really unfortunate because it ends up being a gasless expand this time. He would have forced light to go into something like a 13 gas here just to not get gas stolen, so that's very unfortunate for Protoss fans. This time around, it doesn't seem like Mini... Oh, I was going to say it doesn't seem like Mini's building a Zealot, but I take that back. It is a Zealot follow-up. So even though he doesn't find light top right, maybe the Zealot can get some damage done. Now the SCV... That thing's going to die, dude. You got to run. Oh! Almost kills the probe. But now what do you do as light? He doesn't know where Mini is at all. Because it was a cross scout, he probably thinks Mini's bottom left. So he may just go diagonal and not find Mini forever. I don't know what has triggered him to go bottom right, but he is going bottom right, and he's going to intercept this Zealot, which is quite lucky for him. However, he has no SimCity at his natural. It's going to be hard to micro these Marines without any SimCity. He does have a depot at his ramp, but how's he going to actually save this SCV from not dying? At least he pushed the probe away. The probe is very low health now. Wow, Mini actually committed here. Tried to engage onto those 3 Marines, but instead just loses 80 health immediately. And behind this, Mini, not multiple Zealots this time. He does have Cybernetics. I don't think he got range. But he is going into a quick Nexus. I think that's a smart follow-up. And so far, this Zealot really hasn't done much damage other than forcing out a bunker and 1 additional Marine. Wow. What is Light doing? He's got another scout to top middle. Okay, because the probe was not with the Zealot, he was thinking that potentially there could be hidden tech. So that's a smart move to check top middle. Especially after the Polypoid game, where he just proxied a robo right in your face on the high ground. It's a really smart move to check for that. Doesn't find anything. And we do have Factory coming down for light. SV at top left. Curious what that's going to do. Oh, Fast Citadel. Okay. So this could be something like a Fast DT into Arbiter. I was thinking it might actually be DT drop. I think if it's going to be DT drop, he needs to get the Robo right now. But I don't think he can afford Robo plus Templar Archive. Could be wrong, though. Now that's a... Hidden base? Okay! I don't see this often. This is extremely rare in pro play, but maybe Light feels like he's down for whatever reason. I don't know, but he's not. He's even in workers. As long as he doesn't die to the DTs, he's in a fine position. But this is such an uncommon move. I don't think Mini will scout it. He doesn't have an observer. Because he didn't go Robo Observer, he's also not going to get into the main for a long time and suspect anything. So this could actually be really great for Light. If he can get this up and running, I mean, triple command center that goes unscouted is unreal. He's just going to explode in terms of factories in the mid game. So hopefully Mini can get a read on this, because if this does not get punished, Light's just going to run him over, man. He's going to max out and just kill him. Now, in Light's main, I think finally the eBay just started. I think a 530 eBay is cutting it really close. I think a DT drop gets around 630. So this is going to be razor thin. If he could pump out like 4 DTs, he may not even be afraid of the turret. Just fall right or just drop right on top of it and kill it. I don't know if he can get out 4 DTs in time for that. However, here comes that shuttle. At least I think it's a shuttle. Yep, there we go. He's got to have 2 DTs loaded up, right? Yep, 2 DTs and a goon. And there are no turrets up right now. At least not just yet. There's definitely not one at the natural. Oh, it's just now starting in the main. This could get ugly. Just now starting at the factories. Oh man, he's gonna be tilted. He was about 10 seconds too late for this turret, and now you've got DTs in your main. He played a greedy build with a command center at top left. There's no way you can afford all this plus an academy. So this main is going to be shut down, and Mini's going to be feeling like he just won the lottery here. This is going to do so much damage. The factory can probably get outranged, or the factory can probably be killed off by these DTs. I don't think they're within range of the turret. But I guess, even though the academy is obviously going to be very late, I guess he does have the saving grace that he's at least still mining. Oh, did he bait in? Oh, there's a DT run by into the natural. Oh, the SCVs body blocking like heroes. He killed all the DTs in the main at the natural. That is a massive blunder from Mini. Now, yes, Terran lost his add-on onto his factory. He lost mining time, but now he can go back to his main and mine as usual. He also has the third base, so he has huge eco. Of course, Terran doesn't know what Protoss is doing. This could be Arbiter follow-up, it could be third Nexus, it could be a whole variety of things. But this was a huge mistake from Mini. Oh my gosh, Mini, he's going into more DTs. These things are so expensive, dude. And I've seen a lot of Mini games. For whatever reasons, when he goes DT, it's usually not just 2 or 3 or 4 DTs. Like, he ends up building like 6. I've seen sometimes he's doing like double shuttle with full DTs, like an 8 DT drop. So these are expensive units to build. Like, he's gonna really delay his tech. Man, that is I can't even believe that happened. Well, there's the academy finally. Only 2 factories for Light right now, but this third base is almost completely saturated. He has huge eco. These 2 factories are gonna turn into probably 7 real quick. He just really needs the gas for it. Right now, he's kind of gas starved. It looks like the follow-up for Mini right now is just going to be 4 gate. Probably going to like 6 or 8 gate bust. I didn't see a Stargate in his main. I didn't see double Robo in his main. Templars. Okay. It's going to be a Storm game. I saw double Armory at Light's Natural, so this is going to be a 1-1 timing, and I think he's just going to try and go for the killing blow. He's starting to build up his factory count at this point. He's got like 4 or 5 in his main, so it's going to be a 1-1 most likely with like 7 to 8 factories, and we've got a drop hitting over towards Mini's main. And in Mini's main, I think the Observer spotted it coming. Yeah, he did spot it, so he does move into position. So that's a good pick off. Mini's going to be feeling like he's really far ahead, not only with the DTs, even though they got ended up dying. You know, he delayed a lot of mining. And now picking off a drop, he's probably feeling like, wow, I'm just so far ahead. But actually, he is not. Even though he's up 20 supply right now, I would say he's behind. Like, Light's eco is crazy. It's not just 3 bases either. It's 3 bases that all have gas. And the DT still... or the DT and Observer still have not spotted top left. He has no clue that this is going on. Now, in Terran's main, I could be wrong here. Maybe it's not going to be 7-fact timing. He is building a command center. I guess he's trying to act like, hey, nothing unusual going on. Don't scout the map. Don't scout top left. I'm just going to expand as usual, but this DT will find the base at top left. And this is one of those games where you wish you had Mini's webcam available, because when he sees this, he's going to have one of those mini size that you see in ASL all the time. He is going to force this transfer of SCVs and probably a lift, but Light got way more resources at top left than the command center costs. Mini is going to run over here and, you know, try and make sure that this command center doesn't get away. He wants to make sure that he kills off the command center. Don't just let it live. Oh! Mines get off a big hit. Don't think it's going to dissuade Protoss from committing here. But with these units going to top left, Light may be feeling like he's got an opportunity to either counter or at least take his high ground third base And that's exactly what he's doing. Or he was trying to do. It looks like Mini's denied that for now. Now remember, I don't think there are Reavers in these shuttles. I think this is Templar tech, so he doesn't really have to worry about any Reaver scarabs getting big connections, but he will have to micro versus the Storm, because I think Mini did rush Storm, but even though if he rushes Storm, if he loses the Templars, he's not going to have any Storm available. Into the mineral line, 3 probes down, 4, 5, plus 3 Templars, and a 6 probe falls. Light's still technically down in supply, though. He's down 16 supply. He's not been able to get that high ground third base. But these goons do not have... I was going to say do not have any detection. Oh, he intercepts the probes at mid left. How many probes can he actually get? There's no defense. There's only 1 DT. DT holding the line, though. Is he going to commit up? He is going to commit up. And that... Oh, there's a lot of cannons. So actually should try and get rid of, or try and evac these vultures. Instead, they're gonna get stuck here. So actually, oh, that's a big win for Mini here, killing off a lot of the vultures. Doesn't lose much there. Killed off the command center at top left, and he still denied the mid right command center. Like, it's still just floating in the air there. Terran has not been able to get this base. Really well done, and now supplies are pretty in favor of Protoss. Almost 40 supply advantage. That's amazing. 1-1 upgrade is kicked in. There's a vessel. So if he can land an EMP on these Templars, that'd be great, but D-Matrix can also be pretty good versus Storm. Light's gonna have to take his time getting up here. It all comes down to whether he can get this third base or not. So he needs to be very diligent. Very careful with these tanks. And I love the spread. I think he needs to get a couple of Goliaths over here, though, because those tanks are very clumped up. Zealot Bomb could be quite effective. And it looks like Light is going to make it up, but not without a fight. Like, Mini's really committing here. There's the Goliath. Zealot Bomb does not clear out any of the tanks. There's the D-Matrix that I was talking about. And the Storm is not great, really. Okay, he's gonna kill... Really didn't kill any tanks there, so that's really good for Light. He's gonna be able to finally take this third base. His 2-2 should be kicking in pretty soon. But Mini, he's got the entire bottom side of the map now. He's taking the natural bottom left. So he's still got big econ. More shuttles, not very much Goliaths. Or not very many Goliaths, I mean. Goliaths do not snipe that shuttle. Or SCV transfer does not get stormed, at least not just yet. A good storm on top of the tank, but doesn't kill any of the tanks. He's got to do more than just damage the tanks. He needs to actually kill them. Loses the Templars also. So now we've got supply lead for Light. +2 just kicked in. Big power spike for him. And I'm worried that the lack of tech for Mini and the lack of gateways just in general may actually come back to bite him. Okay, those are good storms. Gets a decent amount of SCVs and vultures. But the problem is that he didn't kill any of the tanks. You can kill vultures and SCVs all day long, but if there's still going to be 20 tanks remaining, this is going to be a killer push. He has 4 shuttles, dude. 4 shuttles. Lots of dropping power, but there's 3 Goliaths here. There's not that many vultures to support these tanks anymore, but I think there should be enough for Light to continue here. Maybe not. That's a good storm. Still got 35 supply lead for Mini right now, but the tanks are on his doorstep. Not any mine set up at all. 0 mines. That tank line is pretty deep, though. Quadruple shuttle. It all comes down to this. Can the shuttles unload and get damage done? But I don't think you can go straight through the center, or straight through the middle. That army's not big enough for Mini. Where are the other shuttles? They're not helping. Really good micro from Light to fall back with those 4 tanks. Doesn't lose any of them. There's some Reavers. Now that's a lot of Zealots. Now this might be what Mini needs to clear up this army. But instead it looks like he's going to go for a counter drop. gonna drop right on top of this third base. Zealots, Reavers, and Templars in there. Wants to prevent reinforcements, but Mini's losing his whole army and his natural. It's gonna be a forced lift at the third base. He's gonna cut off reinforcements, but there's so many tanks here. There are so many tanks here, and instead Light's just gonna go through the center to reinforce. Now Mini still has, he's still gonna have 4 bases even if he loses his nat, but Terran may be hitting +3 pretty soon. The tank count is huge. But at the same time, what is Light gonna do? Because we're approaching 17 minutes. Main's gonna be mined out. Natural's gonna be mined out. He's gonna be not mining in a second. This is such a close game. Light doing Light things, branching off those 2 tanks. He's gonna knock down this base. Mini's gonna be reset down to just 2 base mining. He's still got those drops though. He's got a lot of DTs loaded up for whatever reason. There's a vessel though. So I'm not sure how well this is actually going to work out. These probes doesn't manage to... Oh, I thought he was going to save those, but no. Shot from downtown. 19 kills on that bad boy. And that was a huge swing over into Light. And there's another drop to mid-right. There's no base here, though. But look at how skimpy Light's income is. The natural's mined out. Main's mined out. He's going to be not mining in just a second. So it all comes down to this one standing army, I guess. Can Light actually end the game with it? I actually think he can. I think his vessel has a lot of energy. Probably has EMP. He's got a billion tanks. And he's got a decent minefield just sitting here. Good dodge. Oh, well, there goes the D-Matrix and EMP that I was talking about. So maybe he won't be able to push through. But we are broke as a joke. And this tank army... He's gonna commit, actually. Picks off those Templars. And he's feeling like there's not enough here to stop him. He's probably right. Another good storm. Picks off a Goliath and a tank. Reaver gonna try and hold the line. Oh, somehow mid-right actually is gonna get up and running. I don't know how that cleared out. Maybe Mini just gave up on that. But he's now seeded that base. And now actually Light will have income. And I think also Light is floating a command center towards the middle. So he's going to have double or 2 bases with income. The tank count is still huge. Good storm there. Killing off a couple vultures. Killing off some mines. The problem for Mini is, 1, Light's army is huge. And 2, how does he get the rest of his army, his main, to help at the bottom left side of the map? I just don't know how he does it. Now he does shut down mid-right, but he loses a Reaver at bottom left. This Nexus is going to fall, man. The command center was denied at mid-right, but Light has the middle base. Like, I can see him long-distance mining there. So he still has income, and Mini's about to be on 1 base mining. There is still a lot of shuttles, a lot of drop play denying mid-right. I think the Observer is just out of range of seeing the command center in the middle. Otherwise, he might run around there and try and kill it. But he is going to potentially knock down this command center. Man, this is a wild game. DT died. There's action outside of the natural of Light. Big army outside of Light's natural right now. Looks like we're gonna have a big engagement up there, but instead, those mines are doing work. Good storm. A lot of SCVs, and now Mini knows about the mid. Like, hey, you got a base? Oh, there's tanks here. Okay, so that's not going to be denied at all. Oh, or is it? Hello, 5 shuttles. These are all of Light's SCVs. Well, no, it's not. It's just 12 out of the 34. And look at this move. Light killed the base and backed off. Very smart move. He's got to save this command center, man. I think he's going to. I don't think it's low enough. He's trading all of his goods for the command center. Good storm. The command center doesn't. It's 12 health. 10 health. 8, 7, 6. 5. Survives. And that means that Light will be able to continue to mine the middle. Supplies have plummeted for both sides. Crazy. Mini, all he has is mid left or bottom left mining. All Light has is the middle base. There's a pretty even worker count for both sides, but this is awkward. There's not a lot of anti-air defense in the center. If he can Zealot bomb these tanks, they may just splash each other to death. Get in there. Unload a DT or something. Oh, what is the vessel? Just in the nick of time. Oh, no. He unloads. No. He ends up catching some tanks, but he's going to lose all of his Zealots. Oh, man. Those Zealots got murdered. Oh, he's unloading now. This is what I was expecting him to do in the initial move. Oh, he lost the Reaver. Oh, supplies have been reset. Or it was 65 to 65, but now it's 85 to 67. Command center is being floated to top middle. I see that from Light, so he's going to get that up and running. Mini struggling to get another base. There's a mine denying the natural at bottom left. Also, there's a mine and I think a couple tanks denying the natural of his main. So he's not able to build a base anywhere right now. And Light, he is going to retreat some of the tanks from the middle to try and defend top middle, which is his second base. And that single tank denying the natural is going to back off. I think that's a smart move. A bunker going down with a couple of Marines. I mean, he needs all the anti-air that he can get, man. Like, the drops. Oh, he loses the shuttle. The drops would be very punishing on top of all those tanks. So, I like the Marines in the bunker. Also, obviously soaks up a lot of hits from Zealots and Goons. But I can't even believe we got to this state in the game. We are kind of reset. 100 supply for Mini, 80 for Light. But I think Light's comp is better. I can't remember if Terran has 3-3 just yet, but 2-2 is going to still hit like a truck either way. Top middle is so far away, it's going to be hard for Mini to get units up there without being spotted. So I don't really think he can deny that base. I think his best course of action would be something like a drop plus DT move, but instead he's going to swing around his entire army. There's the DT. Again, not a lot of anti-air. It's just 2 Goliaths. You need 3 to one-shot the shuttle. But mines are being set up, and he may have actually intercepted those units as they are moving up there. Nope, instead, Mini's going to still commit. There's 6 tanks. Oh, there's a lot of vultures. Yeah, smart move for Mini to back off. This would not have worked. Really good response from Light. And instead, he's going to bomb the center. The tanks were unsieged for just a second, but vultures are so quick to get back and help. There's no storm here anymore. If he could have made this move with a storm and knocked down some SCVs, I think this would have been a fantastic trade, but he doesn't get any SCVs really. And instead loses basically his entire army, and now he's got Light with supply advantage, up almost 20 supply. These units are cornered. They're gonna die, and that's almost the entire army of Protoss. Mini's gonna try and retake bottom middle, but Light's on the move now. Worker counts are so low. We've got 27 workers to 36 at 24 minutes into the game. Good storms, but good micro. Ends up dodging the storm, saving the vultures, kills off all the goons, and the zealots, and the Templars. And now what do you do as Mini? I guess Light still doesn't recognize the position he's in, so he's not going for the killing move just yet, but he could. That's just so many vultures, and they're really strong right now with the heavy upgrades. Like, it doesn't even really matter if there are goons or zealots. Like, everything's gonna die to just vultures. Good run by into the bottom base. Most of the probes get taken out. But maybe the Reaver can buy some time. Obviously, you can't attack into Reavers with just vultures. Oh, that connected somehow. Connected again, and he gets a Templar. That's painful. And another one. Wow, that really sucks. And now a probe interception. These vultures are ruthless, man. Well, are there probes here? Okay, there are, but that's a big commitment. He sent a lot of vultures here to try and get these probes. He gets them, of course. Oh, shuttle into the main. I actually think this might be the last stand for Mini. I think he's kind of given up at this point. 2 Zealot attack and a single Reaver into the main. Can that ever work? There goes the Moons and the 2 Zealots. There's too much defense at top middle. Yep. Bye. Oh! She doesn't die. Now it dies. I think we could see the GG. Yep, there it is. GG comes out, and that means that Light, he is going to take the series 3-1. Really epic game to end on. It was well played from both sides. I can't believe that Light, despite not having any mining, you know, at like the 20-minute mark, having his third base denied for so long, in the end, just had an unstoppable army. I thought for sure, with all the Templars that many had, maybe Storm could save the day, but it was just not the case. The Storms just, for whatever reason this time, never really got killing blows on the tanks, so that was a bit unfortunate for him. But congrats to Light. He's going to make it out, which means he's going to face off versus Snow in the bottom side of the bracket, and I think this is pretty much the dream scenario for me. If we can get a look at the bracket or the series. Yeah, the series. Okay, so the series is a rundown of how today went. Of course, we've got Light getting back-to-back wins on Polypoid, Champion getting taken by Mini, and then an epic win on Retro for Light to seal the deal. And now we're going into the bracket. Like I said, it should be Snow versus Light in the bottom side. I think this is pretty much the matchup every Terran and Protoss want to see. We've got experts on both sides of the coin. Snow, so good PvT, like almost unbeatable in this matchup. I mean, that's how good he is. But Light, so solid, so great, so just technically good at TVP, and also willing to mix in risky builds like that hidden base at top left. You really never see that in pro play. I would say that's less than 1% pros make that move, because they know the other pros are so diligent at scouting that it gets scouted too often for it to be successful. But he pulled it out there and had great success with it. So Snow's gonna have to be very diligent with his scouting versus someone like Snow. But yeah, I'm looking very forward to these matchups. I think Rush versus Beast could also be very good. Beast has really done very well in this tournament, and he's always someone that can surprise you with his all-ins. So I'm looking forward to both sides of the bracket and curious to see who will be facing off in the finals. So that's it today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back with the semifinals in just a few days. Take care.